I'm sure it is.
Hey folks, I just made the first stop on the trip at Starbucks real quick to grab something to drink on the way to ZCON, and I wanted to check in real quick. I'm 2 hours out from Dallas. I'm going to stay in Dallas tonight, and after that I'm debating whether I straight shot to Atlanta or go through to maybe Jackson, Mississippi. It doesn't look like there's anywhere interesting to stay really between here and there, so I might just go straight to Atlanta if I can get my hotel to give me an extra night at the beginning of the trip. So far pretty easy drive, nothing crazy going on. Saw some cool cars on the road. There was actually interesting enough, a nice looking Fiat that pulled in next to me. I saw him on 35 and then he pulled in next to me, like parked next to me. I didn't talk to the guy, he had headphones on, he was in a hurry, but I'm gonna try and grab, I probably won't have much for you guys car-wise till I get to Atlanta and stuff starts showing up, particularly if I get there early Monday night. I don't know how many ZCON guys are going to be there before then. My boys Joseph and Mike are already out there because Mike's the president. He's the one that pitched ZCON in Atlanta, so he's the one that was running it originally. But he actually moved back to San Antonio not too long ago, so he's out there. Him and Joe went out on Friday, so I'll probably catch up with them and maybe give y'all talk to him, do a little interview about what it's like to run a ZCON. I don't think I'm going to do a day one. I think I'm going to do a traveling vlog for like getting there, and then we'll do like a day 1, 2, 3, 4, so like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'll be heading home Sunday. I don't know if I'll do a vlog Sunday because I'm going to drive straight shot, so there's really nothing to talk about other than fucking miserable 15 hours straight of driving. I'm also losing an hour going that way, so like tomorrow if I do straight shot it's like fucking 12 and a half hours, something like that. But anyways, I just wanted to check in real quick. I will string some more bullshit together for y'all for this clip. Bye. My truck is small enough to fit in the back of a regular truck. Hey folks, I just wanted to shoot a quick update vlog for the travel and the day one of ZCON. I was going to do 2 separate ones, but there wasn't a whole lot on the travel side that I needed to cover, so I just figured I'd do it day one and the travel together. I was going to shoot these on my DSLR, but I think it's just going to be better to do it off my cell phone, off a mount, so that's what we're going to do. So the audio quality might not be amazing. Anyways, so you should have seen a clip before this. That was me in the car heading up to Dallas. I made it to Dallas no problem, hang out with my cousin and their dogs and his wife.
Did you know that PewDiePie's about to be taken over by some Indian compilation video thing? T-Series, there's this Indian, I don't know if it's a company.
Spent the night there, and I left early morning, around 6:30 a.m. When I rolled into Dallas, it was probably about 80 degrees, sunny, gorgeous. The whole afternoon it was fine. I got there around 1. We went out to eat. I went to Cigar International's, got a new humidor up there that's gigantic, and it's basically everything they have on the website, but in person. Big old nice facility. Ate at Cheddar's. Had a good time. Bought some sticks. I found it's the first time I've ever seen Moo8s in person. If you guys are Drew Estates fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyways, we got home. It started getting a little chilly, and next thing we know, it's raining. And started looking into it, and there was a cold front rolled through, and it rained all night. Got into the 40s, and by the next morning, it was like 35, 39, something like that. When I left at 6:30 in the morning. And it's been raining in Texas ever since Monday night, or Monday morning, basically. There's flooding in Austin right now. They got people evacuating. Looks like it's getting pretty hairy where I'm from, around the San Antonio area as well. So everybody be safe out there if you're still around that area. So anyways, getting out of Texas was a little tricky, even with the rain. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. People drove pretty quickly and a pretty aggressive pace. So I was able to keep 75, basically stuck to the speed limit, was just careful. Getting into Louisiana, there was an abundance of porn signs that I didn't expect to see. Well, not porn signs, but like strip club signs advertising porn stars with, I think it was like Alexis, Texas with 2 live crew. I was like, that's going to be a fun fucking night for somebody. And I also noticed there's this guy, Morris Bart. I'll cut to a picture of him if I can find one. The goofiest fucking looking dude, and every mile or so, there was a billboard for him on one side of the road, and one of the sides of the road, and then sometimes it would be a billboard of him, and then 200 yards down another one. You could see them one after the other, like within view of each other. It's a goofy fucking dude. I don't know. It looks like he's like an accident lawyer or like an ambulance chaser or some shit like that. I got through Louisiana. It wasn't too bad. The weather cleared up, got into the mid 60s, got as high as like the 80s almost when I got to Atlanta. It was a long drive. It was about 12 and a half hours. A little more than that with stops for gas and to eat my packed lunches and stuff. Shout out to Mississippi and Alabama for having a 40 mile an hour minimum speed limit. That's pretty nice of them to post that. It's a shame they aren't all with the modern times though, with Texas with like 75 mile an hour speed limits everywhere, but 70 is good enough. I actually drove past Talladega. I didn't realize that's what it was. When I first got to it, it was just hundreds of porta potties in a field and just fucking garbage everywhere. Just tons of trash blowing around. And as I got closer to it, I saw on the map that it showed a Speedway Road and realized that it was the Talladega Raceway. Turns out there was a race actually this weekend, and my boys that drove through on Friday actually saw like the whole fields were just full of RVs. It was massive. I didn't realize there was a race this weekend there, so it was kind of made sense then with all the garbage and stuff. So I made it to Atlanta probably around 9:30 last night. My buddy Mike is running, kind of was the one that pitched the convention here and was running the Fairlady Alliance Club. He basically created the club to get the con run here this year. Created the club 2 years ago. It's been a lot of work for him. He actually moved back to San Antonio about a year ago, maybe a little less than that. So he's been like coordinating this whole thing in Atlanta from San Antonio. And big shout out to him and the Fairlady Atlanta guys for putting this all together, because it's been pretty fun so far. Anyways, I helped him out last night. Went to Walmart, got some stuff for the convention that we needed for the brewery night that's going on tomorrow. And I went and picked up my boy Miles from the airport. His plane got struck by lightning. He was supposed to be here like 5 hours earlier, but his plane got nicked by lightning, and they had to land him and switch planes because they didn't trust that the plane wasn't going to blow up or something. Said it basically was like a loud banging noise and then like kind of like a thud and a shake, and then like some like the plane like whirred down and back up, like not like noise wise. That was probably, it sounded pretty scary, but he got a bunch of free booze out of it, so whatever. Then we probably hit the sack around, I got him back here around 2:30 in the morning, and then we hung out till about 3:30, and I went to bed. And I actually woke up today real early, like 9 a.m. I wasn't expecting to do that, but I mean, whatever, it happens. This morning we went in and I hung out at Sonesta for a bit, the host hotel. I'm actually staying right around the corner at Best Western just to save some money. They rolled in the Paul Newman race car, so I've got a picture of that. I'll cut to that here in a sec. And so that's the actual 300ZX Z31 that Paul Newman raced. It was a car with the wide body kit and everything on it. It actually doesn't have an engine in it right now because the hotel didn't want the engine to leak, so Nissan's vintage division, I think, from what I understand, pulled the engine out of it, or either they had it out already for service, something like that. I think they might be retiring that car anyways. I think it has been at like Rolex Classic races. I may be wrong on that, don't quote me. After that, I was hanging outside checking out Z1's. They've got basically their test car they do all their prototyping parts on for the Z32. It's 300X twin turbo. With the full Twinsies body kit on it, and I was standing there looking at it, and the guys who actually designed the Twinsies kit and produced them, they're a couple dudes from Peru, like were here. I ended up talking to them for a bit about it, and I didn't realize that in Peru, 300ZXs aren't very common. And so I guess from what they were telling me, there's about 15 total Z32s altogether in Peru, and there's only 5 twin turbos, and between the two of them, they own 4 of them. So I didn't realize that all those parts that Twinsies designs is basically meant for the U.S. domestic market, and like they're not putting them together for guys in Peru at all. So kind of interesting. And there's some weird importing laws in Peru where, like, it's not, from what I gathered, that you can import a car if it's no more than 5 years old, but once it's older than 5 years old, you have to wait till it's 35 years old to import it. So they've got a bit of time before they'll be able to bring any more Z32s into Peru. So kind of interesting stuff. We basically farted around all day. Then at that point, I actually went back to the hotel and set up my laptop on the TV and watched some Star Trek and just kind of hung out and piddled around trying to figure out how I was going to do this video because I have my DSLR, but I ended up not liking the quality when I shot it and recorded it in OBS. So we're just going to do it this way instead. Around 6, we started the opening ceremony. Had a dinner. They just talked about stuff going on. Z1 come up. This is kind of a different type of ZCON this year because they're combining it with ZNats. So Z Nationals is Z1's yearly event that usually happens in October, and then they do usually ZCON is in the August time frame. But since it's in Atlanta, that's where ZNats usually happens. Mike, my buddy who started this, who's running ZCON this year, he worked at Z1 until recently when he moved back to San Antonio, so it just made sense to combine it all together. So it's all one big event now. Tomorrow we have a car show at a mall here in Atlanta that's close by. And then around noon we're going to head down to Z1 because they're doing an open house and they're going to have some food. And I'm assuming they're going to let us check out the shop and stuff and hang out there. I might buy some t-shirts or something. And then tomorrow evening, around 5, we're heading to some kind of brew house here that's giving us complimentary beers to try. So I have a feeling that's going to be a party. Anyways, it's kind of interesting how these things happen because I don't see a lot of these people more than once or twice a year because some of them come out to Nismo Fiesta. But for the most part, it'll be months to a year between the time I see these people, and it's like we haven't been apart at all. It's kind of cool. A lot of IT guys, so we get to hem and hawing about dog shit IT stuff, sysops and everything. It's just kind of interesting how we all act like it's like we never were apart. It's kind of cool. I really like it. Anyways, I'll cut some footage of some stuff that's happened over the past few days. I've got maybe some pictures I'll throw up after this, but for the most part, that's day 1. Hopefully I'll have this up. Guys, free miracle spring water. What the fuck? I've been missing out my whole life. Why did I even bother with ZCON when I can get this shit? Holy fuck. Look at that. Fucking call Peter Popoff. More like Peter Jackoff, am I right?